Welcome to Weekly Sports Talk with Ed, episode 6. And today I'm going to be talking about the Olympics. It's been going on for about a week now. We're talking about the Hall of Fame game for the NFL. It's, SummerSlam just took place. Talk about some AEW stuff. And as always, get my athletes of the week towards the end. And I'm going to get started with the Olympics. Get that out the way first. Since this is the hottest thing right now, it's been going on, like I said, for a week now. Well, first I start with one sport that it was just on TV when I had the TV on. It was shot put, which I guess the shot put they're trying to throw an iron ball the furthest. And I was really confused. I didn't even know it was an Olympic sport until watching it. Didn't really know what to think of it. It was because it was on around the same time as track was on, the qualifiers. So I was kind of watching it at the same time. But it was interesting. But moving on to the women's track, it was the women's 100 meter. It was Julian Alfred from St. Louisa. She won gold in the women's 100 meter, and that was that country's St. Louisa's first Olympic medal, if I'm not mistaken. Sha'cari Richardson got second. Well, she got silver for the U.S. and Melissa Jefferson, she got bronze. So the U.S. took home silver and bronze in the women's 100 meter. And St. Louis got gold. But yeah, that was cool. Uh, Julia Alfred, she was also first in the qualifiers, which was also Sha'cari Richardson also finished second in that. So they had basically they raced each other two times today. It was other people, of course, but she ended up getting the better of her. But it was she only got it by a few seconds, but that was cool. The I gotta break this down. It was the women's skateboarding, the finals for that. So the women's skateboarding, it included Poe Pinson, Paige Hine, Rosalie, Leo, Nakamo, Funa, Chloe Koval, Sue Chazy, Camel Wiz, and Yashua Yashua Zawa Coco. Those were the last eight in the women's skateboarding. Poe Pinson and Paige Hine were both from the U.S. and they didn't really do too good in this. And they were kind of out of it from the start. Uh, yeah, California from Japan had a pretty bad showing and didn't do much. Chloe Koval come, didn't do good either. It really just, it really did just come down to the two girls from Japan and the one from Brazil. Because Yoshizawa Coco from Japan, she had some really good tricks. She scored on every run except for one. She had a great start with getting a score for 85. Then she topped it off for the 86. So that was even better for her leading with that. Uh, Liz from Japan, she started off pretty bad with a 13. Then in the second run, put off some great tricks. She was getting everything. She got an 80, 86 with that. Leo, she had a good first run with 71, but the second run wasn't that good. Where she messed up is that she had two tricks that ended up getting scored a zero, but her other tricks were pretty good. Got got 83, a 92, and I forgot what the other one was, but she ended up getting uh Rasa Lil got bronze for Brazil. She's only 16. The Cosmos Liz, she had she has three tricks that were zeros, but her First trick was a 92, and the second trick was an 84. And she had an 86 on her second run. So that's what carried her despite her last three tricks not scoring. She ended up getting silver for Japan. Then Yashizawa Koko from Japan, she was able to get 80, 85 and 86 on the first two runs, but they take the highest score of those runs, and it was 86. The second trick didn't do anything on the first trick or the third trick, both were a zero. Second trick, she got an 86. The fourth trick, she did really great, got a 96. On the last trick, she got an 89. She playing gold at 14 years old, and the other girl from Japan that got silver, she was 15. So that was cool to see the women's skateboarding was fun to watch. Table tennis earlier, it was Hinahata from Japan. She beat Shinwoo Bin from South Korea in the bronze table tennis match. I watched. I wasn't able to watch the. I watched some of the gold match, but not all of it. I'm gonna have to catch up on the highlights when I get done with this. But that was fun. Each set goes up to 11. Got to win by two. And Hino from Japan, she ended up winning 4 sets to 2. That was real cool to watch. The women's, I checked out a few games of the women's water polo. I'm pretty sure USA is 2-2 in women's water polo right now. But just seeing it and didn't realize how much went into water polo, the tackling, passing, trying to get it into the goal, and some more stuff. But it's definitely something I can see myself taking out in the future. It was it's been cool seeing it. I'm definitely checking out some more this last week at the Olympics. Let's see. It's about 8 days. It's 8 days left of the Olympics. Uh, the women's gymnastics team, led by Simone Biles and Sony Lee, they were both great. Sony Lee, she got gold, and Simone Biles and Sony Lee both got gold in the team gymnastics, which they were both excellent in. And Sony Lee got bronze in the individual with Simone Biles. She got gold in the individual. And Simone Biles also did the women's vault where she got gold. So Simone Biles got 3 gold medals this year in the Olympics when gymnastics been great. And then Suni Lee, she got 2 medals in total, 1 gold, 1 bronze. She's been great. She had a great show in 2020 in the last Olympics, doing great here. Then next, basketball. Canada has been dominating Group A. They're 3-0 against their group. Won their games pretty easily, led by Shea and RJ Barrett. They both had some good games. One person that's been struggling is Jamal Murray. He hasn't had the best showing in the Olympics, and maybe because he's not used to this type of ball, but is it's tough to see him struggling like that. I feel like he would have been playing better, but it hasn't mattered for Team Canada, and they've been getting it done. Germany with Dennis Schroeder, Franz Wagner, uh, leading Group B plus 47-point differential. Haven't watched many of their games, but seems like they've been doing good. And France is also in that group at 2-1 with Wimby, Rudy Gobert, Nicholas Batum, Evan Fournier. They have a good team. I didn't see the Japan game, but I heard there was some controversy around that after Rui got ejected. And then uh, Team USA dominated Group C, have plus 64-point differential. That's 3-0. All their games been blowouts. Kevin Durant came back for that first game. They figured out how they can all play together. None of these games have been close. I question Steve Kerr's lineup adjustments. I know Drew Holiday got hurt today, so prayers up to him. Hope they don't last too long. But in the first game, Tatum and Halliburton didn't play. Second game, Embiid didn't play. But all these games, everybody played today. But all these games have been blowouts, so it's like there's a way for all of these guys to play, even if it's just a few minutes in the fourth quarter. But once it gets to that point, if it's a blowout, you can sub in a guy like Tatum, who even if it's a close game, you can still sub him in. Same with Tyrese Halliburton, because they're not a negative to the team in any way. So I feel like they really like what Steve Kerr's doing with that, because and it seemed like that first game, Tyrese Halliburton, he was fine with it. He was happy. He was cheering on his teammates, happy to be there. You could tell that Tatum was upset about it, which I don't blame him because it's like you got all this talent. Now you got to do is play the guys for a few minutes. They shouldn't be in there warm up the whole game. Same with Embiid in the second game. Even though he hasn't been good in the Olympics, you can still get him in for a few minutes. But I know today in the first game he didn't play great. But that's all I got for the Olympic talk right now. Yeah, the Olympics, it's been fun watching basketball, gymnastics, water polo, uh, skateboarding, table tennis, track and field. It's all been fun to watch. I've been checking out a lot of the women's stuff when it comes to the sports. The main thing I checked out for the men's is basketball, and I'm seeing some soccer. I haven't watched any of the full games, but I've seen some of it. But that's it for the Olympic talk. Next, I'm gonna dive into the Hall of Fame game and get that out the way real quick. The Bears on Thursday night, the Bears beat the Texans 21-17. Game ended due to inclement weather because of a thunderstorm. It was still 3:31 left in the third quarter. But it's for the best, protect everyone for everybody's safety. Made sense to end the game because they wouldn't have had a chance to, because it was raining all night and where they were at. But yeah, it was a and that's because it was starting to be a good game. I was enjoying it. Then it started raining real bad. Postponed it. They paused the game. Everybody went to the locker rooms. Then this got to the point where everybody needs to go home, which is good that they want to protect the players, keep the fans safe. It was going to be a good game. The third and fourth fingers, they was doing their thing out there. Just looked like they was having fun. And congrats to all the guys that made the NFL Hall of Fame this year. Moving on from that, uh, a bit of drama in AEW. So apparently during the July 17th episode of AEW Dynamite, which was the one that I went to live, Britt Baker said something about MJF's girlfriend, and that made MJF mad. So he confronted her about it. They got into an altercation. From what I read and what I heard, then it led to Britt Baker getting suspended. Don't know what happened with MJF, if he got fined or not. Guess they said they heard about the situation, had to do some research and figure out everything that had happened, what led to that. And I guess Britt Baker started it. She ended up getting suspended, and nothing happened to MJF. I quite find that kind of weird. Feel like both should be punished because they got into an altercation backstage. Even if they don't get the same amount of suspension time, you give Britt more time because she started it, but you should still suspend both of them equal treatment. But that's seems like there's always some type of drama in AEW. That's not a good thing. Don't know what made Britt Baker say anything about MJF's girlfriend. Because from what I've heard and read, it's not like she said anything about her. So I don't know if she was just doing that for no reason or what. So I think AEW took the right steps in suspending Britt. But if it got into an altercation, and I'm not sure if MJF put his hands on her or not, but he should just suspend both of them for treatment, even if you want to suspend MJF for a week and Britt for 2 weeks. I don't know if Britt will be back next week or not. I know MJF, he had to miss the Dynamite despite this, because he's wrestling this coming Wednesday. But let me know what y'all think about that. Should they have both gotten suspended or just the person who started it? But I think you could have suspended both of them, and the one who started it got more suspension time. So moving into WWE Summerslam, this was the best wrestling show of the summer so far. SummerSlam was amazing. I'm gonna just start from the beginning. The first match was Liv Morgan defending the Women's World Championship against Rhea Ripley. It started with a game like cat and mouse. Liv kept leaving the ring, and then Rhea was finally able to get her start. And Rhea, she caught her shoulder out of place. She would eventually pop it back in by ramming it to the announce table, which was interesting to say the least. But it worked. It was a good back and forth match. You probably hear me say that a lot when it comes to these matches. It was a good back and forth match. It was a really good match. And then Rhea got to the point she was so angry, she was letting her emotions get to her. She got a chair. She was going to try to hit Liv with it. But Dom, he took the chair and he was told Rhea that you can't win it this way, this and that. Then few moments later, ref wasn't looking. Dom places the chair in the ring. Uh, then he goes to distract the ref. Liv Morgan hits the Oblivion onto the chair, pins Rhea. 1, 2, 3. She retains the title. Then Dominic, he helps up Liv Morgan and he kisses her, betraying Rhea Ripley. So, and this starts the downfall of the Judgment Day because things don't get much better for the Judgment Day after this. But Dominic and Liv Morgan, they walked off together, were nowhere to be found after that because as soon as that happened, Priest and the rest of Judgment Day were looking for Dominic. They couldn't find him, but I'm gonna get to more of that later. But then after that, you had Sami Zayn defending the Intercontinental title against Bron Breakker. This match wasn't too long. Bron Breakker, he got the win. It was it wasn't really back and forth. Bron Breakker had the advantage for most of the match, and he won. Didn't have to cheat. Do none of that. He's the new Intercontinental Champion. It's not too much to say about that match, but it served. I feel like Braun should have just won at the last pay per view at Money in the Bank when they did the match. But got a part two. This was a shorter match. Brown got the win. The match following that was Logan Paul defending the United States Championship against LA Knight, and this was great. Both guys going back and forth, uh, pulling out all the stops. Now Machine Gun Kelly, he was there. He came out with Logan Paul. He had a brass knuckle chain, which nobody could see or nobody noticed. Then he gave it to Logan Paul, which he ended up using. LA Knight took out Logan Paul entourage, but it didn't matter in the end because LA Knight would end up getting the win. Won this very title right here. Logan Paul. Uh, Logan Paul had this championship for 274 days or something like that. But LA Knight was able to defeat him for the championship tonight. And LA Knight is their new United States champion, which is well deserved. We've been waiting on this moment since last year. Their Money in the Bank, where a lot of people felt like he should have won. But LA Knight finally got his moment and just became a singles champion in WWE on the main roster. So congratulations to him. He deserved it. Congratulations to Bron Breakker as well. He hasn't been on the main roster that long, but he also deserved the Intercontinental title. So we got two new mid-card champions for Raw and SmackDown. So hopefully they have good feuds, good matches. And the other women's match on the card was Bayley defending the women's championship against Nia Jax. It started with Nia in control, and Bayley wasn't getting much offense in. And Nia did eventually hit the Annihilator kind of somewhat early into the match, but Bayley was able to kick out somehow. And I'm just running through this one quick because this match was, I think this match was okay, but it wasn't like great. It wasn't a bad match, but you had Tiffany run out there and said she was gonna cash in. Bayley knocked her out, and that led to Nia getting the advantage again. She had she had done she did the annihilator to Bayley twice. Ended up getting a 1, 2, 3 for the win. Her and Tiffany celebrated. I thought Tiffany would have turned on her and cashed in, but surprisingly, she didn't. So Nia Jax is the new women's champion. Congratulations to her. The match that will follow that was the match that will follow that would be Drew McIntyre versus CM Punk with Seth Rollins as a special guest referee. I thought this was a really good match. Aside from there was a moment where it was early in the match where Drew and Punk were out the ring for a good 30 seconds to a minute, maybe longer. And Seth didn't really enforce the count as the ref. He was just letting it happen. And then when they got into the ring, they were throwing, uh, when they were in the corner hitting each other and they got to the 5 count, he just pulled, he would pull the Drew and Punk. It happened once with both of them. But he had to pull them and let them know, like, I'm the ref. When I count to this, to 5, y'all have to stop. And they kind of got mad about that. Uh, CM Punk, as well, before that, Drew, he ended up getting the chair. He tried to use it on CM Punk. Seth turned his back as if he was going to let Drew use it, but then he turned around, took the chair from him. Tried to hit Drew, almost hit Punk on accident. And then Punk had Drew pinned and Seth. He was so frustrated that he almost hit Drew that he wasn't able to count uh, when Punk was pinning Drew because he had a good 4 count and Punk would have won if Seth was counting. And then Punk locked in a submission so he could get his bracelet back from Drew. But then as he was putting it on, Drew Claiborne, uh, Seth saw the bracelet. He picked it up, put it on his wrist to get so it wouldn't be in the way. Then Punk noticed it was on his wrist, and he went all crazy because he had his bracelet, this and that. Then that led to Drew taking out Punk. Well, Drew he had hit Punk, which also knocked out Seth. Then Drew was in the corner, low blow to CM Punk, pins him. Rollins just getting back up, counts to 1, 2, 3. Drew McIntyre gets the win. Uh, Seth, you don't know how he's feeling. He just goes to the back. Punk, he's mad that he lost, but the CM Punk screwed CM Punk. That was on him. Nothing much, ain't much else I can say about that. CM Punk screwed himself. Then next was the World Heavyweight Championship match where Gunther defended the title against, no, Damien Priest defended the title against Gunther. And this was a good hard hitting match, back and forth, heavy hits and chops. Priest pulling out some new moves, not new, but like moves he don't usually use, like a suplex off the top rope. Yeah, like he can do that, but it's not something that he usually does. Yeah, my power went out for a little bit during this match for a few minutes, but then seeing Balor, he came out there as like moral support for Damian Priest. Gunther and Priest they exchanged some chops. Gunther was in control for a good few minutes, but then Gunther he kicked Finn Balor, and Priest would get back on the attack. They said re-energized him, like he kicked my partner, so now they got him more fueled up. But then Drew he hit the not Priest, getting these names confused, but Priest he hit two clotheslines, Razor's Edge, then hit a South of Heaven. He go for the pin. 1, 2, Gunther's foot is on the rope because Finn Balor put it there. Then Damian Priest looks up, he sees the replay, and then he tries to go after Finn Balor. But then Gunther put him in a sleeper hold. Priest gets out of it the first time, tries to go after Finn again. Then Gunther gets him through the power bomb, put him back in the sleeper, and Priest passes out, and Lucha becomes the new world heavyweight champion. So this is what I was talking about, the implosion of the Judgment Day, because Dominic turned on Rhea earlier to start the show. Then right before the main event, Finn Balor turns on Damien Priest. So I don't know where the bloodline stands now. Don't know where this does to Carlito. I know Jaden McDonough is gonna go wherever Finn goes. Don't know how Jaden McDonough really fits into this. Don't know if Finn is working with Dom and Liv. It's a lot that's got to be addressed on Monday after this SmackDown. Now, after this SummerSlam, it's a lot that's gonna have to be addressed on SmackDown too, because the main event, Bloodline rules for the undisputed WWE Championship. Cody Rhodes defending against Solo Sikoa. It started off with Cody trying to shoulder tackle Solo. Wasn't the best idea. Then what Solo did it to him seemed like light work. But then it was going back and forth. But at the beginning, Solo he had the advantage, but he was taunting a little too much, and that was allowing Cody to get back into it. Like he was taunting showboating to the crowd too much. So that's what kept this. And obviously in storyline, he that's what he has to do as part of the script. But if he wasn't taunting and doing all that showboating, he could have won. Then when was it? He hit Cody hit the crossroads for the first time, and that's when Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa came out. And Kevin Owens, followed by Randy Orton, came out there to help out. They fought off the Tongans to the back. Then Jacob Fatu came out there. He gave word to Cody Rhodes. And it was like, he just dominated him. Didn't seem like Jacob Fatu hurt his ankle. But then that allowed Solo to get back on the attack, pinned him. 1-2, Cody kick out, fight for a little bit, a few more minutes. Then you hear Roman Reigns' new theme music hit, and the tribal chief is back. He comes to the ring. Superman punches Solo. Then he spears Solo. He looks at Cody. He nods his head. He leads the ring. And Cody hits the crossroads. He retains the WWE Undisputed Championship. And Cody and Roman just kind of had a stare down after that. Like Roman, he came back and he going after Solo right now to because he gonna prove who the real tribal chief is. But after that, he going after that title because he won his rematch. So it goes Solo, then it goes Cody. That's what it looks like Roman's plan is gonna be. But SummerSlam, that was the best wrestling show in the summer, hands down. That was it was fun to watch. It's like it's gonna have to be addressed this week on Raw and SmackDown. At Judgment Day splitting up. Gunther is the new World Heavyweight Champion. Bron Breakker is the new Intercontinental Champion. CM Punk screwed CM Punk. Then on SmackDown, LA Knight is the new U.S. champion. Finally, uh, Nia Jax is the new women's champion. Who's going to be her first challenger? Roman Reigns is back. And we don't know is Paul Heyman or Jimmy Uso. Are they going to come back on this SmackDown? It's a lot. It's a lot that's got to be addressed. But SummerSlam was amazing. I really enjoyed it. Yeah. One more thing about WWE before I go to the athletes of the week. We got more than usual this time with the Olympics going on. But for the WWE, uh, on SmackDown, they did Andrade versus Carmelo Hayes twice. Carmelo Hayes has lost to both times, which a lot of people aren't happy with, which I can understand. He's an up and coming guy, just came from NXT recently, shouldn't be losing like this. But I think both matches have been good with Andrade, and I think they can stretch this out because the fans are enjoying it. I think the fans want more of it. A few years, a while back, they did the best of seven series with Cesaro and Sheamus. I could see them doing the best of 7 series with Andrade and Carmelo Hayes. And Carmelo Hayes ended up getting winning the feud. Because like he says, he uses all these basketball references. He's him. He's down too low right now. He could come back and end up winning 4 matches and Andrade wins 3. I think the fans will love it, especially if they do different stipulations like a tables match, bull rope match, just to Hell in a Cell, just to throw out some examples of matches they could do to keep this going. And then whoever wins, you put them in a championship match against LA Knight, be one of his first challengers, or you do a triple threat match, both of them with LA Knight. It's like there's things you can do with this, and I'm liking the rivalry so far because it's like Carmelo Hayes was close both times. He could have had to win. He wasn't able to get it. That's why I think they can stretch it out. As the fans are loving this, they're enjoying it. And I think 5 more matches to them or one on one, I don't think anybody would have a problem with it. There might be a few people who complain it's just too repetitive, this and that. But I think it would be really fun, especially if you add some type of like reward at the end, like you get a guaranteed uh title match or some or you or whoever wins that's gets the United States title shot or something like that. Yeah. And now we can get to the athletes of the week. Since we're just on wrestling, I start there. For WWE, I went with LA Knight. SmackDown, he had a really good segment with Logan Paul. He ruined the celebration with putting the yeah on the Logan Paul's poster, stealing the prime truck, driving off with it. Then on during SummerSlam, he brought the truck back, broke the windows, had a great match with Logan Paul, and captured the United States Championship, winning his first singles title, selling with LA Knight for WWE. For AEW, I went back-to-back weeks, going with Darby Allin. He had a great main event match with Heyman, Adam Page, which he ended up winning. Then he got another win earlier today because Collision came on at 4. AEW Collision was from 4 to 6 today to avoid running into SummerSlam. And he was in a 8-man tag team match. It was him, Mark Briscoe, FTR versus The Beast Mortis, Roderick Strong. And it was 2 other people. I forgot. I watched I watched wrestling from 4 to 10 today for 2 different companies. That's 6 hours of wrestling. So I consumed a lot of wrestling today. But Darby Allin had a good showing in that match. I didn't check out Rampage, but I did see Collision, which I don't usually check out. But I enjoyed it. So I went with Darby Allin. The 2-0 in both his matches were great. For the women's track and field, I went with uh, Julie Alfred from the women's 100 meter, and she placed first in the qualifier that featured Sha'cari Richardson by 0.16 seconds or something like that. Then in the actual 100 meter race, she also beat Sha'cari Richardson, finishing a few seconds ahead of her. And a lot of people just expected Sha'cari Richardson to finish first and get gold, but Julia Alfred from St. Louisa brought their country their first ever Olympic medal. So just shout out to her because she had a really good showing. She did her thing, and hopefully she'll be back in 2028. Just put on for the country. For the men's track and field, this is from the 10,000 meter. I went with Cheddatiji Joshua. Like I talked about in my other video when I covered the men's 10,000 meter, just had a really good showing. He stood out above the rest. For the women's skateboard, I went with uh, Yasuzawa Koko from Japan, 14 years old, absolutely amazing. Did her thing with the skateboarding. It was really fun and cool to see the different tricks that she could do. Wasn't scared, didn't look nervous at all. So I had to go with her. For the women's gymnastics, it was between, well, it was really, uh, nah, it was Simone Biles all the way. Sony Lee was a close second, but Simone Biles, uh, the three gold medals, absolutely amazing. Uh, Near perfect execution every time. Nobody can match her, especially the closest person to matching her is Sony Lee, who was also on USA. When she got a gold in the team, along with Sony Lee, got gold for the team in women's gymnastics, got gold in the individuals, and got gold in the women's walk. So she's just all around been amazing. One has 7 gold medals now, and she has 10 medals in total. But absolutely amazing performance by her through uh, during these Olympics. And for basketball, went with Kevin Durant. He's now the all-time leading scorer and rebounder for Team USA. Those he came off the bench, had no problem with it. Been been amazing. That first game he was really good. He missed one shot. Second game had a good game as well. Uh, and this game they played today, he didn't do wasn't as good as he was in those other 2 games, but he was still productive and providing for the team, helping them win. So I went with Kevin Durant. It was either gonna be him over Bron, but I went with Kevin Durant based off the fact that he's doing all this coming off the bench. But that's it for this week's episode of the podcast. Leave a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, and comment your thoughts on anything that I talked about today. Peace.